Hello everyone, welcome to the video lecture series of the subject Effective Technical Communication. This is our third lecture related to the module number 1, that is Dynamics of Communication. In this particular lecture we will study about interpersonal and intercultural communication. So let us begin our discussion with our first point, that is interpersonal communication. So what is interpersonal communication? As the name itself suggests, it is communication within an organization, or it is used for sharing your thoughts, ideas, feelings between two or more peoples with the help of verbal or non-verbal communication. With the help of verbal communication through different tones, or with the help of non-verbal communications like gestures, facial expressions, those are non-verbal communications. So it is used for exchanging of informations, ideas, thoughts within an organization. Or it can be said that individual's skills, how he develops the relationship, how he builds the relationship with his colleagues, with his seniors, how he deals with them, and how he develops his ability to move forward in that particular environment or with the team members. So wherever he is working, there should be a good relationship that should be built. Ultimately that will help him to make a good progress. So how he that is a skill, how he utilizes or how he builds a relationship among the other employees, among his seniors. So it is an interpersonal skills. It involves interdependent communication. Interdependent communication means whatever the actions you are taking or whatever the things you are saying that is affected, or that is someone is dependent on that. It is interdependent, interrelated. So I have taken one example where two or more peoples are connected in some way. So whatever the decision is taken, that is interdependent, means that thing is related with that particular thing. So it is interdependent communication in one way or another way. So that is again next, the action of one person has an effect on the other. Best example I have taken, that a child's temper tantrum will affect his parents and siblings. See, if the child has lost his temper, if he has become so much angered, so his behavior is interdependent. So that will affect his parents also as well as his siblings, means his brother or sister, whoever. So it's an interdependent communication. So one must take care wherever he or she is working within that organization, they should try to build a relationship. They should try to develop a very good working environment. They should build relationship with their employees, and that will help them for the betterment of themselves also as well as for the organization. So how they deal with that particular situation, how they work together with their employees, with their colleagues, and how they share their knowledge, their feelings with them, that is interpersonal communication. So moving to our next point of discussion, importance. What is the importance of this particular interpersonal communication in one's life? So communication should be always effective wherever you work, in any workplace. One should take care that the communication, whatever the communication you are doing, it should be an effective communication. Then the person who is on the receiver end will be able to understand what you want to convey them. So you are frequently coming in, or you are frequently interacting with other peoples wherever you are working, because it's a teamwork. Wherever you work, the I attitude should be removed, that I can only do, that is totally not acceptable. We as a team will do this, and that will reach you to the higher heights in your life also. So effective communication is very helpful in workplace where we need to interact with different types of peoples. So it is important in maintaining good relationship with families and with friends. Yes, this is also very, very important. You should not do bad with anyone, or you should not in any relationship you should not try to break that. You should be polite, you should talk in a very polite way, you should try to develop the relationship. You should know how to deal with the situations. There may be some situations where you feel disgusted, so you should deal with that. How to, that is again a art of learning, you know. One should learn how to deal with people also when certain situation arises, a certain difficult situation arises. You should not lose your temper. So it is important for developing relationship with friends and family members. So the first importance of interpersonal communication is the flow of thoughts and ideas. See, for any management firm, they should be very clear, if they want to grow their name of their company or their organization in the market, then they should create such an environment, or they should know the importance of interpersonal communication. So it is better for them as well as for employees. Employees also should know that interpersonal communication is very important. So the exchange of ideas and thoughts should be frankly, and the environment should be such that they feel free to share their thoughts. So the flow of ideas and thoughts. Second one, enhances the teamwork. Yes, so it has been said, I approach is never acceptable. That will not give you that much rich rewards. But if you adopt we attitude, means we together will do this, then you can reach any of those unforeseeable, impossible things also. So enhances the teamwork. The aspect of teamwork in every organization, as we and never and I. So this will help you to develop a team work, and this will ultimately help you to work in a team. So ultimately, if you work together with other peoples or other employees that is surrounded by you, then it will help you ultimately to also grow speedily in your life, and your graph of your career will rise very quickly if the we attitude is adopted. Because there are certain limitations of certain people. If you are having the knowledge of X field, it is not necessary that you are knowing the you are having the knowledge of Y field. So if that particular who is having the knowledge of field Y, then you must take help of that particular person. So that will help for both development as well as for the development of the institute or industry also. So you can work as a team, but for that ego must be kept aside. So it enhances the teamwork. Third one, higher productivity. So higher productivity, for higher productivity there are certain experts, so they should work in a team. They should always find a solution. They will find a best possible solution for the same, and accordingly the productivity can be increased. So what is the main aim for any industry? That their production rate or their production should be higher. So for that they should have a good environment. They should support their employees, and they should also create such an environment that they can discuss the issues and problems together, and finally find the best optimal solution such that higher productivity can be attained. Next is, it helps to solve the problems and issues. As we all know, in smallest place also, or in small institute also, there are always problems and issues that arises, because there are many types of people they are working. Some may be jealous, there may be competition within, or some might be finding the insecurity. So they all are trying to find out the loopholes in others, and they are trying to show that they are better. So when the importance of this is been understood by the employees as well as organization, they will behave in a matured way, because ultimately if you work together, then all your problems can be solved very quickly. So it helps to solve the problems and issues. You should not do bad with anyone. You should work in a team, and these trait and qualities are beneficial for both maturity level. You should help others for solving the problems, and it will help you to finally get rich rewards. It will help you to reach certain heights also. So that is beneficial. Certain traits should be there. Next is helps to retain quality staff. So it helps to retain quality staff. Yes, it's a dream of every company. See, any company is name is there, their reputation is there in market. That is only due to the staff members, their quality of the staff. So to retain quality staff, they should take care of certain things. They should have an open door policy. Means whatever the problems their employees are facing, their management firm or their management should create such an environment that they are always open to listen to their problems, their suggestions and problems that they are facing, so that that particular employees will be motivated, and they will and that will ultimately result in long-term association with that firm. So they should be open. They should always listen to their employees' problems, their grievances, their suggestions for the same, and they should accordingly act, so that they will feel motivated, and it will help them for the long-term association with that firm. So that helps to retain the quality staff. So that should be understood by the management of that particular firm. Next is positive image. It has been said now, first impression is last impression. So the image within that market of that particular organization or industry or company, and that should be such that it should be very positive. Means they should arrange certain meetings or certain arrangements should be done with the experts of that particular industry, who is responsible to give all the answers, take suggestions, and take or listen to their demands also. Means the stakeholders, those who are the stakeholders of that particular industry. Stakeholders means who are the investors, who are the customers of that particular company. To hold a fair and transparent communication with the stakeholder, means they should have made an arrangement or meetings with the stakeholders. Stakeholders are such that stakeholders means the investors and customers of that company. So they should have a transparency within with them. So there should be provision of certain spokesperson or the responsible person who is ready to listen to those stakeholders and give possible solutions. Whatever the problems they are facing, whatever are their suggestions, what are the steps they have taken, what are the progress they have done, that all the things which represent the company, that should be provided. So that will build a very good image within the market. So that again helps. So this should be also understood that interpersonal communication is very important. So this is all about interpersonal communication. Now next point of discussion is intercultural communication. Intercultural communication, as the name itself suggests, culture means people coming from different cultures, different lifestyles, different languages. So how you are communicating with them. So intercultural communication is a necessary part of today's world, whether it's business, school or everyday life. So as we know that intercultural communication is very important, because our world is so small that in future or in any time during your life you might come across some business deals with different cultural peoples. So you should be able to understand their culture, or you should be able to communicate in the way they talk. Means you should know some basics of their cultures also. So it's a necessary thing, because in today's world all the deals are not necessary that is made in that country in which you are originating. It may be with dealing, it may be to deal with some other countries also. So how globally we are it is an essential part of growing global community, and knowing how to communicate cross culturally is a skill you must have to succeed. So one should also know how to, or should try to learn their culture bit. They should try to learn their cultures, different cultures, people. Intercultural communication refers to effective communication between workers, peoples, clients of different cultural backgrounds. But for all this, willingness is a must, and one should also accept the difference and adapt to them. For smooth working of any industry, taken best example of MNC company. In multinational company, you might come across people from different cultures, and it is possible that you have to work with them also. So you should try to adopt, you should try to adopt the difference or accept the differences. You should try to accept the differences of their knowledge. You should also try to adapt to them, means according to them you should try to settle yourself or adjust yourself, and you should also have the willingness to learn their certain languages or certain non-verbal communication, such as gestures, and you should try to learn something about their cultures also. So that is intercultural communication, cultural communication, communication between different peoples of different cultural backgrounds. So in MNC company, you might come across various persons or various people who are from different background. So if you want to work with them, then you should be able to learn, or you should be able to accept and adapt. So you should have the willingness to learn about their culture, certain basics of their culture you should be able to know. It focuses on difference in language and behavior pattern. So this is all about intercultural communication. Now, importance of intercultural communication. Intercultural communication is an important part of intercultural competence, or the ability to effectively function across cultures and with those from other cultures. So how you are adapting yourself, how you are behaving with them, how effectively you are managing yourself with them, that is importance of intercultural communication. As we know that our world is smaller, gets smaller, so globalization. So you should be able to adapt, you should be able to know their cultures, you should know some basics of their cultures, you should know some manners, some rules of their culture. So some tips for managing when intercultural communication. First, common traps and problems. So every culture has their own gestures and ways of speaking. So if you learn something in advance related to their culture, it is very much helpful to you. So one should learn their basic things of their culture. Their gestures are different. It is possible that in India, we are taking one example. For example, handshake we are using in India for greeting someone, but it is not necessary that it is appropriate way of greeting in every culture. So in their culture there may be something else they might be using for greeting someone. So try to learn their culture a bit and try to adopt accordingly. So the problems that arises, that will not be arise. That handshake in other countries may be seen in some negative way. So try to learn about their culture so that common traps and problems are avoided. Next is learn phrases in their language. Phrases means group of words. So try to learn some group of words of their culture, of other people's culture, and deal accordingly so that they can feel comfortable, they feel relaxed, and they feel free to ask, or they feel free to talk with you. So learning few common phrases in other language is also important part. It shows that you respect cultural differences, respect their culture, and are willing to learn about it. So you should learn some basic phrases that they use while dealing with their people. So you should learn that, and that will help you to develop a good relationship. Certain hello, thank you, how they are saying, starting with learning hello and thank you if you are meeting with someone you know speaks another language. So how they are saying hello, how they are saying thank you, what in which way they are saying. So according to their culture you should adapt yourself, and that will be helpful. Next is adapt your behavior. So when you enter in any intercultural communication exchange, so there may be expectation on both the sides. So always try to adapt, means win-win, 50-50. So always try to adapt, don't lose your temper. Try to understand from their perspective also. So that is adapt your behavior. So there may be an expectation on both the sides for the other party to adapt to others' culture. They might be expecting that you adopt their culture, and you are expecting that they accept our culture. So try to adjust accordingly, and accordingly the deals should be finalized. That will help you to deal in better way. Next tip, check your understanding. Yes, if you are not getting what they are saying you, then you should always feel free to ask them for the clarification, and ultimately that will help you to avoid misunderstanding. So check your understanding. If you are not able to understand what they are saying, you should ask for the clarification. Next is apologize. Yes, if you feel that you have offended someone or you have hurt someone, so always apologize before the situation gets worst, so that all the matter that has been arised, that will calm down. So you should apologize if you have offended someone, and until the situation gets worst, before that you should apologize. So if someone has felt bad, then they will feel okay. Next is use televisions. Okay, so in televisions there are many channels that are coming of different cultures. So if you are going to some other country, and if you are knowing that in this channel these cultures news are coming, then you should watch those channels and try to learn something about that particular culture. So watching series of other cultures will help you or will aid you, and if you have no other means, then it is better to go through the televisions and try to learn about their culture, which will help you to effectively communicate with that particular people. So use televisions. So this is all about importance of intercultural communication, and this is all about today's lecture. Hope you would have understood about interpersonal and intercultural communication. Thank you.